Welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. It's me, Rashida, and today I'm going to show you how to make some apple crumble muffins. These are delicious, these are easy to make, and they're so flavorful. Let's get to baking. For my ingredients, I'm using some diced up apples, of course, they're the star of the show, flour, sugar, butter, eggs, vanilla, sour cream, and a couple little spices that I'll be throwing into the muffins. Most of these ingredients you may already have in your cabinet. Just might need to purchase a couple of apples and then you'll be ready to bake. To start off, I'm going to make the crumble, and that is the little topping that I'm putting on the muffins. And I'll be using 2/3 cup of flour, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of regular sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. So that's all you need for the crumble. You want to just combine the dry ingredients and then add in the melted butter, making sure you just stir that well until you have like little clumpy pasty pieces, and that's your crumble that will go on the top of the muffins. While I'm mixing that up, it's going to take a few minutes. I came across all these apples from my traditional apple picking adventure. I like to go up to the farms and just pick the apples in the trees. Whatever variety of apples they have are the apples that I tend to bring back home and use in different baked goods or dishes. So we got some Granny Smith apples. We got some Golden Delicious, I believe, like a Evercrisp apple. That was really good. And like a Golden Delicious, I said Golden Delicious. And I got some Stamen apples and some Ida Reds. So those are really good for baking pie. So if you get a chance to go apple picking, I recommend it highly. Okay, my crumble mixture is finished, so I just set that to the side, and now it's time to make the muffin batter. Once again, pretty simple, just like making a cake. I'm going to start off by adding a stick of softened butter. Always want to have softened room temperature butter. And then I'm going to add my sugars to that. And I'm using a 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar or just regular brown sugar and a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. And I want to mix that probably for about 3 to 5 minutes just to make sure the butter and the sugar is mixed completely well combined till it becomes a light pale color. That's looking good. That's the pale color I was looking for. Now I'm moving on to adding in my eggs. And once again, all ingredients are pretty much room temperature. And so I'm adding in 2 eggs and I'm going to mix those well. So now we have the butter, we have sugar, and we have 2 eggs in our batter. And after the eggs are mixed, I'm going to add in vanilla. I want to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of room temperature sour cream. So for the next few moments, those ingredients will be mixing. We'll set this aside and then we'll mix our dry ingredients. Mix together our dry ingredients. Okay, all my wet ingredients are now mixed. I'm going to set those aside, and it's time to just mix these few dry ingredients that will go back into the wet ingredients, and I'll mix those. So I'm taking 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a pinch of salt, and I want to mix these all together, and that's going to be the base of the dry ingredients. Okay, I have mixed my wet ingredients, I've mixed my dry ingredients, and now it's time to incorporate the two together, bring them together. So that's the wet ingredients, and now they're ready to take on the dry ingredients. And I'm also adding in 1/4 cup of milk. So I add a little bit of dry, a little bit of wet. So I'll be going back and forth with the dry and then adding in that 1/4 cup of milk, as you see right there. And you don't want to overmix. So I don't want to overmix this batter. So I'm going to mix it part of the way, and then I'm going to add in 2 cups of diced apples. For the apples, I did dice them up at the very beginning. I'm using 2 cups of apples, so that's roughly about 2.5 apples, depending on the size. You can use the same apple, or you can use 2 different varieties of apples. I would recommend, if you use a Granny Smith, that you also combine it with something a little bit more sweeter and flavorful, because it's very tart. So I believe I might have used like Golden Delicious and a Granny Smith, but any 2 types of apples will work. You want a firm apple, so you really don't want to use like a Macintosh apple, because that's kind of mushy. So make sure you have a firm Fuji apple, Gala apple to go into your batter. Okay, my batter's looking good. You see the chunks of apples in there now. So now the next thing is to put them in the muffin pan and then get them ready for the oven. Want to make sure that you grease your muffin pan very well, or just use some cupcake muffin liners. I didn't have any, so I just greased my pan well. And as you see, I did put one in there before I greased the pan. And then remember, oops, I need to grease the pan so they'll come out. So I'm adding in the muffin batter, and then on top of that, I'm going to sprinkle on the crumble mixture, and that's the mixture we made at the beginning of the video. And you just want to put little bits and pieces of that crumble mixture on top of each muffin, and you can fill these pretty much to the top, because they're not going to rise too high, they're not going to overflow. So this is the process of just putting in, and it is a thick batter, as you see, but that's the way it is supposed to be, because it just makes a nice hearty muffin. You can eat any time of the day, for breakfast, lunch, dinner, as a snack. And those are the crumble pieces I'm putting on top, and just place them on there. You can push them in a little bit so that they don't fall out. It's a little messy, but it's okay. Okay, I popped those in the oven. Let's take a look. Oh, those look delicious. They are cooking up very well. They have a few more moments, and then I'm going to take them right out. And just like that, the apple crumble muffins are completed. You can add a drizzle to them once they cool a little bit, just a glaze with some powdered sugar, vanilla, a little bit of milk, and just pour that glaze over the muffins if you like. They cooked on 425 for about 5 minutes. Then I lowered the oven temperature to 340 and let them cook for another 15 to 18 minutes. And they're ready. I may put a topping on them, I'm not sure. I recommend eating them hot, fresh. If they're room temperature, pop them in the microwave for a couple of seconds. You could put a pat of butter on them if you like, a little drizzle of honey. However you like to eat them, they are just a great, absolutely fall muffin to make and to eat and to share with others. Thanks for coming in the kitchen. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Have a blessed day and a blessed week. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Take care.